Zoolander. You know, I heard a lot of hype about this movie, but to be quite honest, movies never really live up to their hype. This one has Ben Stiller, Will Ferrell in it, and I am not great fans of their comedy. I know, Ferrell is a great comedic actor. They're both great comedic actors, but there's just one problem with them. They do the same shtick every single time. Ugh. Ben Stiller, he always gets himself into weird comical situations, and Will Ferrell is always just over the top. Whatever he's trying to do. I mean, him and the producers. That's all I have to say. Uh, and I honestly thought that we were going to get a lot of good performances out of this because we had a lot of good actors. We had Mitch McConnell, who was decent. We had Jerry Stiller. Oh God, Jerry Stiller. He is a legendary comedian, but he hammed it up so badly. One of his best. We finally get a little bit of Jerry Stiller's comedy in the very end, where he's on the phone telling them to get the flash drive. But other than that, the only Jerry Stiller joke is that he has an enlarged prostate. And how many 15-year-olds know what a prostate is? Much less what it does when they're watching this movie. This honestly, the only performance I bought was John Voight's, and that was right up to the very end when he's like, "That's my son, that's my son." That's what I'm like. Okay, that's it. Even you're phoning it. Vince Vaughn, at the very least, knew that this was going to be a bad movie, so he just sat there with a beer and kept his mouth shut. So Zoolander. What is the premise of this movie? Well, let's take a usually non maligned industry and turn them into the supervillains, the fashion industry. And to be quite honest, I can see it working because you've got a bunch of people that a lot of people know very little about their personal lives. You've got people who dress in very strange ways but somehow manage to pull it off, and they're always wearing aviator sunglasses, even at night. They are the perfect supervillains. So what is their supervillainy all about? Is this some kind of club that they have after the runway? Nope. They just want to make sure that the price on Malaysian child workers does not go up by what, 5 American cents a head? There's no. And so they decide that they're going to get the dumbest supermodel they can to try and murder him. Okay. It sounds like it could be a decent movie, but oh God. Ben Stiller has this gigantic V in the center of his head for the entire movie. And can we stop trying to pretend like he's attractive? I mean, good lord. At least Mitch McConnell is good looking, so he pulls off being a model. By the way, he saves this movie. Just him as a model. Oh, good lord. He manages to save this movie in a way that everybody else just can't. Jerry Stiller's phoning it in. Will Ferrell, he looks like he's trying, but he's so out of place. Ugh. But that being said, this was not the worst movie I've ever seen. It could have been worse. It could have been a Shyamalan film. That's the worst thing you can say about a movie. It could have been a Shyamalan film. No, but seriously, the movie was predictable from the start because you know who the villains are, you know what they're trying to accomplish, and you see who your main character is. And it's basically him just going through everything that's been set up for him. I mean, it's not there's no edge. There's no I mean, seriously, what do these people lose if if they if he succeeds? Malaysia loses a prime minister who is going to raise the minimum wage and get rid of child poverty. I mean, and get rid of child labor. I mean, Well, if that was the only platform he ran on, then come on. You're saying that the next guy is not going to do it, or at least that somebody's not going to do it. And even if this fails, what happens? So he raises the minimum wage. So what? The price of the clothes that they are charging for is 600% of the cost of manufacturing, at least. I think they can absorb a little bit of minimum wage. Ooh, boo-hoo, the poor fashion industry doesn't have cheap labor to make its products that only rich people buy. Come on. Come on. There's no bite to this movie. There's no what's the word? There's no tension between the characters. I mean, we're just following an idiot around, and it's not even a sympathetic idiot. It's a supermodel. Which by the way is a very bad stereotype. I know a lot of people who do modeling and work in the fashion industry. They're not dumb people. I even know people who walk the runways. They're very smart. You want to know why? Because they have free time to do things like read and study and secretly be nerdy even though they're good looking. I mean, come on. Oh, you know what? I do kind of like this movie. I would say it's a B movie masquerading as an A movie. Favorite scenes. My favorite scenes have to be the ending. Don't ask me why. I just think the ending is hysterical. It's your typical bad movie ending, but it's funny. Just where the little kid is making the look. I thought that was funny, and the walk off. I thought the walk off was hysterical. I don't know whether it was because I was not interested in this movie until like an hour in or something, but oh my god. I laughed so hard during that part. Oh, and David Bowie, thank you for getting us number 39 of 100 on Rolling Stone's out of 100 musicians list. I mean, there's a reference you have to Google. Oh, just a I would watch this with friends. That's what I would say for this movie. This is a fun movie to watch with friends because you can point out all sorts of weird stuff. Oh, by the way, Natasha Badenoff as the as the person who kills everyone. I wondered what happened to her after Rocky Four, after the not Rocky Four, the Rocky and Bullwinkle movie. I think she might have been in Rocky Four too, but that's I'll leave that for you guys to debate. I would say this movie is 5 out of 10. I don't know why so many people like it on Rotten Tomatoes and they don't like other movies like The Four Feathers or something, but I'm not going to question it. Anyways, so this has been my movie club response. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.